Before the break, we broke the news. Riley Leonard entering the transfer portal. He did so in an interesting way. The Instagram post that he put up, 7 slides, I believe. It's got a very traditional English paper, beginning, middle, and end. Starts with a anecdote about finding his favorite fishing spot on Duke's campus and weaving it through with stories of fishing and thank yous to friends and coaches. Ends with, I found out recently that a few years ago, my favorite fishing spot at Duke was nothing more than an overgrown drainage ditch. Duke turned that part of campus into something better, something that'll continue to grow and give back. I'd like to believe it's the same for me. I hope I leave this special place better than I found it. Which is very nice, very heartwarming. You can tell that Duke meant something to him, but it's still a goodbye. It's still a see ya. And I think it's interesting for this reason. Riley Leonard wasn't recruited by Mike Elko.
He was not.
He was recruited by Cutcliffe. And then when Elko took over and Duke shot to much more success, Riley Leonard's reputation and his status shot with it. And now he's, quite frankly, cashing in those chips. And this is also what I was talking about when I said Duke was on the clock for hiring their next coach. Now, I'm not saying there's a good chance that if they hired the next coach quickly that Riley would be staying, but at least you might have gotten a phone call in, and maybe it was too quick to expect him to have it by Wednesday, but Riley Leonard on the way out. And again, as I brought up before the break, ESPN's Adam Rittenberg says Notre Dame a likely destination. I have questions. Okay.
By the way, real quick note on Leonard on his post. Never said he was actually entering the transfer portal, just that he was leaving Duke.
You think he might be going pro?
I'm just saying.
It's
open out there.
So, okay, let's take a step back here, and let's make sure we have all of the information appropriately. His own post says, thank you, I'm leaving Duke. Hopefully it's a more special place than when I found it, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The reporters, the Adam Rittenbergs of the world, the 247 Sports of the world, have reported that he is likely entering the transfer portal. I believe he will not be entering as a graduate transfer, which means he's not eligible to enter the portal until Monday. So that may be something where it's like he can't use that phrase.
Maybe. I don't know how that officially works. Because you could say you're entering the transfer portal.
Okay, so
before you actually officially enter.
So that's okay. We'll leave it at that. He hasn't said he's entering the portal. The reporting done by ESPN and other sources are saying he is expected to enter the transfer portal. Adam Rittenberg says likely destination Notre Dame. He's one of the preeminent insiders into college football. Works for ESPN. Likely destination Notre Dame. That alone, I have questions. Because he's not in the portal as of now, and you're not allowed to talk to other players that are on other teams until they're in the portal. How would they know it's a likely destination? Now, it's the Wild Wild West. I haven't seen anyone penalized for tampering, so maybe it's just, hey, until they say it's, until they prove that they're going to punish it, why not? But, or maybe he just wants to go to Notre Dame. I don't know. Maybe he watched Sam Hartman go from Wake to Notre Dame and was like, that looks nice. I'll have what he's having. But that alone is a question. Secondly, Matt Rule, who you're very familiar with.
At the end of the day.
There you go. Head coach at Nebraska, former coach of the Carolina Panthers, told the media that a good quarterback in the transfer portal is going for $1 million, $1.5, $2 million. Riley Leonard in the transfer portal is, at the very least, a good quarterback in the portal. He might be near the top of all quarterbacks in the portal. There's a possibility this decision that he just made put 7 figures in his bank account.
Yeah.
So Duke has to look at it from that perspective, right? There's, I've told this story before. I played football at the University of Delaware. One of my teammates ended up transferring to Oklahoma. I remember very much being like, man, I wish you'd stay, but what are you going to do?
I get it.
Yeah, like could you pass him my game film? Like
send some shoes.
Yeah, exactly. Like what are you going to do? Like I think there's some what are you going to do in this, right? If he's getting $1.5, $2 million and Duke can't offer close to that, like what are you going to do, right? It's hey man, do you see what Sam Hartman? How actually, you know what? How baller would this be? Let's talk this through. Sam Hartman went from Wake Forest to Notre Dame, right? Sam Hartman became a big star, right? There was so much more attention, and what did he get a chance to do? Give everyone on Notre Dame Beats by Dre headphones.
Mm-hmm.
How dope would it be? How much of a baller move would it be if Riley Leonard, as Notre Dame's quarterback next year, got beats for Notre Dame and Duke?
Oh.
Just say, those are my brothers too. Those are teammates that I fought with. Right? Like let's make it so if it's a transfer for reasons that a team understands, it doesn't have to end on bad terms. Right? This doesn't, I made the joke about abandoning before the break. Let's not make it that. Let's be a young man that has built an opportunity for himself, taking advantage of it. And Duke, with their coaching change, can't really look at him and say, man, I wish you would have stayed here. He's going, man, I don't even know who I would have been playing for. I don't know what offense you'd run. I have an opportunity to go play for Notre Dame or Texas A&M or whoever. Like, let's make it like a cool thing.
You want to go full conspiracy theory on this?
Of course. Let's put on our tinfoil hats.
Do you know who Notre Dame plays week 1? They're at Texas A&M. So he wants to stick it to Elko?
How about that?
I know, I'm being facetious here. But how fun would that be?
I mean, I'm here for that drama.
Right?
I am here for it. That's an interesting twist. But I just like Riley doesn't seem like a guy that would change his whole career for petty reasons. But going to Notre Dame, like that is a good business decision.
Oh, 100%.
He
has 1 year of eligibility left.
I don't know if I've said this on air. I played middle school and the first part of my high school with Manti Te'o. Cue your jokes.
Do you mean his girlfriend?
I cue him up, get him down.
Yeah, they are.
Watch the documentary. It explains it a lot better. Untold on Netflix, Manti Te'o. But he had like another one of our buddies that played with us, a guy by the name of Robbie Toma, also went to Notre Dame.
Okay.
They both went from our high school to Notre Dame. Robbie Toma was, and I say this generously, 5'9", 170 pounds. Returned kicks a little bit at Notre Dame. Probably caught 3 or 4 touchdowns, mostly mop-up work as a receiver and kind of a dual threat back. He still to this day, I believe, could open up a business in South Bend, Indiana and make a good living because Notre Dame supports their players financially like that, like the fan base does. So, this could very much just be a business decision. And oh, by the way, I'll put it in terms that maybe I'd understand better. Along my career, I've left stations a few times where they were very upset I was leaving, and then it's like, well, actually, no, that's a pretty good opportunity, right? I've been working a long time to try to get into a market like this, leaving the previous spot. They were mad, and then it was like, oh, actually, no, you're going to a place that means a lot to you and your family, and there's awesome sports to cover, like, kind of makes sense.
I've had people get mad at me for leaving a coaching job, go and take another one.
Yeah,
it happens.
Once the sting wears off, you kind of look at it from their perspective and you go, oh, that actually was a great chance for you.
Yeah.
If Riley Leonard ends up at Notre Dame, like Adam Rittenberg says is a likely destination, or if he ends up at another school like that, I think the sting will wear off and you'll go, actually, he kind of had to take that opportunity.